Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Conor.
And this is Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
I thought we lost you for a second.
My brain was taking a little bit to process, but I think I just need to recalibrate it. Turn the reels, the gears are turning, and I'm good to go.
That's good. Well, folks, we're here with the Gears of War again on Steel Division Normandy 44. And this is the beautiful slopes of Mount Ormel. So who
Yep.
do we have here today, Ryan?
Well, on the right-hand side in red, we have Leenday as the 716th Infantrie Division, and he's going to have to be on his guard as he is fighting Skadoosh, who is playing as the Guards Armored.
Now, you have yourself a nifty little strat with the Guards armor, don't you?
Yeah, there's something that me and a buddy has been testing with the Guards Armored, but essentially, at the opener of the match, you just half-track rush the enemy. It pretty much works. You want to have a 25-pounder to smoke enemy anti-tank guns, but if you just break through at one point with half-tracks, usually the Germans don't have enough AT guns or tanks, because they don't really have that many tanks in a phase, to really stop shots in us. So you do bring out like a Cromwell or two, but yeah, it's cheesy as hell, but it works. It
Interesting.
works. I don't usually do it because I usually don't play Guards Armored, but yeah, it's a strategy, it's a thing. But we probably won't be seeing that in this match, though, because it is just a 1v1.
True, and it doesn't look like it either. We're only seeing a couple of half-tracks for those guards. Now,
Yeah.
what could the 716th do to kind of stave off this early assault? Because we are seeing a fair amount of tanks.
Yeah, they do have those lovely little Pack 37s, which perfect for knocking out those Cromwells. That has a pretty decent fire rate, and also enough AP to deal with them. And also, it's a pretty good map for Leenday, considering he's a very infantry-focused division. It's very close quarters, there's a lot of forests, lots of hedgerows, lovely areas to sneak in anti-tank guns all over, and you know, infantry fight, his infantry, once you get those Italian free troops, and really mop up those Bren groups and motorized rifles.
Very, very true. Now, as you might suspect, we are going to see the Guards armors taking a much more aggressive posture. The foot sloggers are not really being too swift.
No, just we got the Cromwell and pretty much Stuart taking point, and yeah, I think this forest fight's going to be a little bit difficult, maybe for Leenday, as Ostroopen aren't the best in TQC. At the same time, okay, motorized rifles to two submachine guns, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. He does have Flammenpanzer AO, which is definitely going to help out.
Now, I am watching that Pack 37 is doing a pretty good job holding off most of this advance. If he gets able to stun up that Cromwell, I can't help but feel that's going to be... Oh, never mind, he backs away.
Yeah. Too bad it doesn't have a leader unit nearby, it could have helped out a bit.
True. Well, he would have lasted over another couple of rounds right there, but we are going to see that Panzer B2 is shoving back the tanks.
Yeah, and the B2... It can kill the Cromwell, but because it has two tank guns instead of one tank gun going the M3 Lee of tank design, it may not be able to kill the Cromwell, but it can definitely force it to retreat.
That's just a quick question. So where did the Lee tank design had nothing to do with this, did it?
The Lee was actually after the B2.
That's what I thought, right.
I mean, really quickly, essentially the Americans really liked machine guns, and when they're developing a medium tank, they wanted to have a 75mm gun, but I think somewhere in the army said, okay, also you have to have the 37mm. So they just put both in one tank.
Yeah, it was a hideous
And then you had, you know, just... Well, the Russians called it a coffin for seven brothers for good reason. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, the Russians, you have a rave rich.
Yeah, well, let's remind ourselves. What did they call their major anti-tank platform? What was the nickname for it?
Oh,
the Suka.
ISU-152?
Oh, no. The SU-76.
Ah, God, I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure it's the SU-70. It's either that or the 85, but Suka, because it maneuvered like a bitch.
That's pretty Russian.
Yeah.
A bit of Bliat in there thrown in too, but it's a pretty conservative Guards armored breakthrough up north. I mean, the Stuarts managing to surround the Ostroopen, and the Ostroopen are very smartly not engaging.
True, well, they are bringing a B2 in behind this, so the B2 should get a couple of nice side shots here. In fact, is one of the Stuarts facing around? No, he is facing his front towards the B2, but I'm surprised it's as mild as it is.
Yeah, the B2's really doing a good job just holding up is so they're really solid tanks actually. The B2, even though they're really the only decent tanks that you get, you're also seeing a Somu as they're being brought in too. But it's good early game to deal with Stuarts and other light vehicles, and even against more heavier tanks, because it has the 2-gun combo, it can stun them up rather efficiently. Also, it's great against infantry, because it has a howitzer inside the tank, which is just lovely, absolutely lovely.
Now, I am interested to see... Okay, so he will be able to engage that first Stuart, and Stuart might not get the turn in time. Never mind.
Nope.
I'm going to call this a victory probably for the guards on this.
Yeah, I mean, they do outgun them, that is true. You're going to have a little bit of difficulty penning out B2, and look at him, he's just taking those shots like a champ. Hardly being stunned up here.
True. That is absolutely true. So say what you want to about the French, but they were able to create a nice inter-war tank here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely well armored. And that was the thing I was trying to go for in 1940, because I had that whole line, but you can just kind of bypass the line with a few fast tanks.
Yep, so you said before we are going to have a 35S coming on, and we also have a 35H coming on in as well.
Oh, this is really, because most 716th players I see, Khan, and when I play 716th, I just take B2s. I don't bother taking Somus or, 35Hs. They're not really tanks. I might as well just, keep with the big boys and try not to deal with anything too little, but definitely an interesting choice. The Somu can help out a bit, because it's essentially, a decent light tank. I don't know where the H will be able to fit in, because it can barely deal with tanks itself, and it's not the best fire support platform either.
I guess I'm a little disappointed right now with the infantry play, I think, from Skadoosh. I do like the placement of his MGs when he does use them. The breakwater's right in the middle. But he's been very aggressive with his leaders in the south. He's been losing them because of it. You cannot be losing that support units.
Yeah. I mean, he's using motorized rifles pretty efficiently, knocking out the Osttruppen. It's just going to be tough early for Leenday, because Osttruppen aren't going to be enough to hold out. They can work pretty well against motorized rifles and not 1v1 at long range, but it's when the fire support's in the field, you don't have that Panzerfaust, which you really kind of need. It's useful if you're playing like a Panzer Grenadier deck, for example, because Panzer Grenadiers, for the most part, have Panzerfaust.
True.
And
So
2 MG42s, which, 2 MG42s, you can't say no to that.
That is true. So I guess the question is whether or not Leenday becomes a Deutschland idiot, or if it's good riddance.
Yeah.
I saw that I had to. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
We are going to see some infantry being rushed on into the south. Good idea right there, considering there is nothing there except they're retreating B2.
Yeah, just definitely needs the reinforcement. But pretty much Skadoosh, he's just getting Stuart out the kazoo. He can buy a Stuart every minute, so you have to cry a lot of Stuarts in the end of the day. Stuarts, good fire support vehicles, going to be able to deal with pretty much all the tanks, quotation marks, that Leenday can bring up. And because he doesn't worry about Panzerfaust, you can just kind of like rush in, dilly-dally through the forest and hedgerows and not have to worry. And I'm thinking Lean should be thinking about getting some more Pack 37s. If he has any more on his deck, he must have more. Because he needs to start knocking out these Stuarts from Cromwell before it gets into a guard's armored death blob. True.
Now we actually have 35H is coming on and just doing a little bit of harassment against the various half-tracks and the like, but not really paying himself off just yet.
Yeah, it's funny, that 35H actually has its HE cannon disabled.
If you actually look at most of the B2s, they also have the HE cannons disabled.
Oh,
in fact, every single one. I think he's very intent on making sure his tanks are fighting other tanks.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice. I thought about doing that, like just turning off them all, but he really wants to kill tanks, and that's exactly what he needs to be doing.
Now, I am kind of hoping he starts to get a little more aggressive with this pocket. We see where that Flampanzer is moving a little bit further to the west there. Obviously, of course, screening with the appropriate amount of troops, but I can't help but feel he's missing out on some opportunities.
I think moving in the Flampanzer by itself is going to be a little bit deadly, as those motorized rifles do have and the Piat's gonna miss. I mean, okay, it's a big target, but it's gonna miss.
But there's two of them, so eventually, law of averages says he should get brewed up at some point.
Yeah, okay, good point, good point. And there we go, Piet Run's gonna be firing, gets a hit, doesn't penetrate, and the Flam Panda responds in kind.
I guess maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to unmask the enemy infantry for his own infantry to just completely shred them.
Yep. Look, Piet number 2 misses, just like a bridge too far, and But
he's getting closer again.
Come on, like, the miss the third time. Right.
And one last little spigot round, and there we go.
There we go, finally. Finally.
Alright, in the meanwhile, to the north, engine destroy, weapons jammed, so those Stuarts are completely worthless for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Those Pack 37 in a damn good spot, essentially, getting some good shots in the Stuart, and that's going to put them out of commission, essentially.
At least for the interim. I won't say that you can't keep a good tank down long.
Yeah.
How do you feel about these Spitfires coming on in?
Well, these Spitfires are pretty decent. They're pretty well priced, but he's using them to knock out the pack guns, which are really the main threat he has to deal with. Unless there's a Messerschmitt, that's going to be a little bit dangerous, and he's definitely going to be losing that Spitfire. Quite surprised seeing that Messerschmitt G0, because you never usually see the G0, because
the garbage.
Terrible. Yeah, it's I mean, it's the early Messerschmitt where they thought, okay, all you need is 2 machine guns and 1 cannon to knock down a plane. And then, like the British found out, you can't just have 8 or 6, 303mm machine guns to kill a plane these days. You kind of need some larger firepower.
That is very true, but at the same time, I can't help but feel that 716th player Leenday has to kind of realize, okay, well, there's been a lot of ground attack already. And it may not do much, but if it's what he's got to work with, it's what he's got to work with. The 716th Division doesn't really have a lot of great air early on.
No, it's not. Yeah, not really an airplane division. They can actually get a Ju-88 and A-phase, I believe, which is pretty funny, I have to say. But I think it's just going to be one B-phase hit, which is going to be like 7 seconds, essentially. Yeah, and he can get Italian troops which have Panzerfaust, and on this map, with all the forests, Panzerfaust troops are going to be lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Admittedly, as we're going into Phase B right now, I was just watching that Stuart and the Cromwell and the motorized rifles all shoot at the Osttroop, and it never ceases to amaze me when a Stuart starts to open up with all its machine guns.
Yeah.
How much incredible firepower that puts out.
Yeah, and that'll make Stuart such a good tank, because most tanks usually only have 2 machine guns. Like Cromwell only has 2 machine guns. The Americans, they love machine guns, so they make sure to have 3 machine guns and bloody everything. And having 3 machine guns in a light tank just makes it deadly. Absolutely deadly.
That is accurate, but you know us, we do like our DACA.
Do like your DACA. That is true. I mean, they developed a 50 cal machine gun and they thought, hey, we could just stick this on everything. It's like cheese. It's like cheese whiz, We could stick it on our planes, we could stick it on our boats, we could stick it on our tanks, we could use it as a tank gun, we could give it to infantry,
Now, just to be clear, are we talking about the 50 cal or are we talking about cheese whiz?
Well, we could do both, really.
Okay.
Have you seen some MREs?
That is definitely true. That is definitely true. Martyr coming on in, by the way. He has immediately deactivated it yet again for that HE. What's he sacrificing by getting rid of that HE? Ooh, wow. Pack 37 takes out the Cromwell in a beautiful side shot.
There we go. Lovely kill. I think that's a very interesting threat.
2 for 2. Tracks wheels destroyed.
Damn. Is he gonna get it? Come on. Get the hit.
Oh, come on. This is like the hero Pack 37.
Yeah. Oh, it's clear miss, yeah, from the Stuart. And I think the Pack 37 is definitely going to get the kill if it can hit.
Shockingly, that guy is almost 100 meters closer, and yet he can't hit that, but the Cromwell... Whatever.
Yeah. But I know, it's a bit weird turning off all the HE cannons on new tanks. I've never seen or talked to anyone who really does it. I guess it's really just more for its matchup, as he is trying to knock out tanks because they're the priority threat. But it's still important to have the HE on because there's also infantry you have to deal with.
That is a pretty fair assessment.
But it's working well for him, so I'm not going to complain. It's
yeah.
Very
true.
All to your own.
But alright, so Firefly coming on in, that's one of those beautiful things that the Guards Armored Division gets, and an absolute ridiculous amount of infantry for the Germans as well.
Yeah. Yo. No, Firefly is going to be a little bit overkill because, like...
Because it's a 716th, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the most heavily armored tank they have is 8 armor, and they've managed to knock out most of them already. I mean, you don't really need 16 AP to kill a 2 AP, 2 armored Marauder run, but, well, each their own once again. The Marauder run is in a lovely spot on that hill, pretty much. I mean, it doesn't have the... Okay, it does have good line of sight. Don't even bother looking at the line of sight tool where the mortar is, because it can actually shoot over those trees.
Which trees? The ones to the south of it?
The ones to the south of it.
Yeah, so the ones to the west might be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it might be a little bit difficult. You might have to be a couple, 10 or 20 meters up to get a good shot, but, yeah.
Okay, Spitfire. Another Spitfire's in, and that... Oh, we have 2 Me-109s going after it now.
We got one crap run and one actual good run, yo. Unfortunately, the Messerschmitts aren't that fast, and they're gonna have trouble chasing up to the Spitfire.
Yeah, but wait, he's smoking. He's smoking. Did he go down?
Nope. G0 does not have enough firepower to kill it that fast.
I was gonna be shocked, but at the same time... Oh, wait, bailout. Oh...
Oof.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was an economic bubble. That 6-pounder bailed out that martyr like it was his job.
Good. Yeah, it was a pretty good sneak up maneuver, yeah. And knocking out mortar is definitely gonna pretty much ease up a little bit for Skadoosh.
Now, B2 to the south is coming under fire from that Firefly, and were I him, yeah, there we go. Reverse.
Yeah. I would not be bringing out that French heavy piece of metal to deal with that Firefly. No, that's a bad idea. But now he has this tree line under his control. A very important tree line. Because once you hold the tree line, look, you put an anti-tank gun there, it's just open ground.
I'm a little confused by the Opal Blitz that's down there. I don't think anyone's really needed to get resupplied.
Yeah. It's definitely... I mean, he's just hanging out at the border. Maybe he has a place down south that he needs to get to, but he realizes it's actually a game border.
Good
so
point.
He can't actually leave the battlefield.
He's just waiting for his R&R.
Yeah, I totally need to be at frontline hand, so I just be back here, okay? I need to be hidden so I don't get bombed, okay?
I can stop by my girlfriend's later. Do you mind?
Yep.
No, okay.
Yep.
And Hublischer Mädchen. No, but 5149. 5149.
But yeah, and pretty much like Leenday's managed to capture his entire southern flank now. Once he got the tanks out of the way and the Osttroopen pretty much clearing out the rest of the infantry, it's really just his Firefly that's going to be a pain in the butt. And also his AEC Mark III, but
bizarrely enough, though, had he been very aggressive, actually. If that Firefly continues to move forward, he could hop out and shoot that in the side. And he's going to try to do that and realize that's a bad idea. Good.
You do have... Leenday does have a Pack 40 and a Pack 37 behind his initial defense line. And he really needs to think about maybe getting that up front to the front line. It's going to be a little bit difficult because there's quite a lot of open ground between him and the next tree line. But if he can get it in there, yeah, it's going to be just a lovely spot.
I don't know, I can't help but feel, even if he moves it a little bit further to the south, and just kind of shoots, okay, so, that yellow field, green field.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Right down, just look down the road. He doesn't need to be far in there, just...
Good ambush point, too. The old
exactly.
40 actually get an ambush on Stuart Remy.
Ooh, good point. Yeah, but it's just...
Yeah.
There for show.
Yeah, it's gonna alert Skadoosh to the pack gun's presence. And unfortunately doesn't have any artillery or nothing to deal with it, so it's going to be pounding away.
But Martyr went to the north, a third Martyr coming on out as well. Pack 40 just starting to throw rounds downrange in the hopes of hitting something. So why are we not seeing Frivillige?
We are, they're in the middle.
Are we? I missed them somehow.
Yeah, up north in the forest.
Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. You said middle, and I was like, Grenadier Führer, Osttroopen.
Northern middle, my bad. But,
oh, that's fine.
I know what you mean, because I'm guessing down south, it's open ground plays, so you might as well just Osttroopen spam, you don't really need the CQC, while in this pretty much like forest choke point hell, you really need the 2 submachine guns and veterancy that those Italian boys bring up.
That Me-109 GO has taken out 2 Spitfires.
Damn.
But to be fair, the Spitfires have been taking out AT guns right, left, and center.
Yeah, almost killing the Pack 40 there, but not getting the kill. Was it the Pack 40 or was it the Pack 37?
They killed the Pack 37. The Pack 40 is still there.
He would probably is getting shot up by a Firefly, I guess.
No. The Pack 40 got hammered by the bombs as well, so the bombs hit both.
Ramming.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't looking, my bad. But now we got the Guards Armored, we got the Firefly, we got an AEC, and a Stuart walks in front of a German machine gun.
So an AEC, a Firefly walk into a bar.
Yeah. That was terrible. Okay, if those were American riflemen and they're Nazi encrypted bars, I need to make a formal apology on that joke. I don't know what I was thinking, and I'll try to make sure that I actually think before I speak. That was terrible.
Oh, please don't give me that. I like it when you don't think. I like having the company.
But anyway, we got the Nav Mortar 1 being brought in down south at G0, keeping the skies clear. And his pretty much tank blob is working pretty well here for Skadoosh as he slowly pounds away the Osttroopen. And he's also getting a section. And then, I don't know why he's getting Fireflies, Khan.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that myself. I would think he would have more Stuarts in the deck.
Yeah, or... Because you're not having to deal with the tanks. Of course, it has a 1.2 kilometer range, which is going to help with pack guns and mortar runs.
But the HE doesn't make it worth it.
Yeah, they only have 2 HE. You might as well just be using Sextons to deal with both. A Sexton can really hammer a mortar run very easily.
Well, even just the AEC.
Even the AEC. I mean, the AEC also has recon, which is going to help out. The pack gun finally goes down, and it's really just going to be down to that mortar and B2 holding the flank. The B2, love his position. He's not getting cocky with it, holding it round the corner. And if that...
Absurd.
And if that corner, look, if that Firefly gets a little bit closer, that B2 is actually going to be able to get a shot off. Probably not going to be able to get a decent penetration shot, to be honest, but...
500 meters? Theoretically, he should be able to do it pretty well.
Theoretically, I think it's going to be down to more just stunning the Firefly and fully killing it, but still, it's better to use that tank in ambush than just, rusting out in the open and getting killed.
Yeah, but I think that Firefly has... Oh, I thought the Firefly had line of sight on it. It's a really, really weird...
angle.
LOS there.
Yeah, if he just goes a little bit forward, then he would spot the B2. But yeah, definitely weird LRS.
Meanwhile, to the north, Martyr forces back to Cromwell, and are going to see a Sexton as well as another rush of infantry coming in for the guards.
Yeah, this is really a... looking for the Germans up north. They're really making quite a bit of a breakthrough. The mortars hammering away. And just a good use of Osttroopen, leader units, mortar runs, forcing the...
Whoa!
What?
One Firefly went down.
What? Did the B2 kill it?
I think so, and he's getting another round off too.
No way.
Driver wounded! Oh, crew killed, you jerk!
Oh.
Hero B2 goes down in the 21st minute of this?
Yeah, I mean, it survived most of the match. Yeah, it survived most of the match.
It was one of the first ones anyway.
Yeah. But still... using a 1940s era out-of-date French tank to kill a Firefly, yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, he held up half of the British Army just now.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to buy time for Leenday to get a Pack 40 up again, and once that Pack 40 will be online, these tanks are going to be very close, and should be an easy hit. And this is really cocky with the Firefly play. He does have a recon AEC, which does help, but I'd always want to have infantry in front, especially in that forest or in that town next to it, because you never know, there could be a Panzerschlag squad in one of those buildings, and all they have to do is move up a little bit, and down goes your tanks.
I have an absolutely asinine question.
Shoot.
What is the Rem part of Stuart Rem, or Remi? What does that mean?
I don't know, Colin. I have no idea. I think we're going to have to leave that one to the comments, to be honest, because also the Stuart Remi is also known as the Stuart Kangaroo, because that's what they used in North Africa. They knock off the turret and then just call it the Kangaroo, one of the first models at least. But the Remi, probably Royal Engineers, something.
Ah, the Royal Engineers, maybe mechanized equipment?
Royal Engineers Middle East? I don't know. We'll have to leave that to the comments.
Do you want to make a quick call at the same time? Pack 40 does take out the second Firefly, and looks like he will take out the AEC as well.
Yeah, the AEC is not longing for the road, and damn, just really good ambushes, yeah. overall from Leenday, knocking out all 3 tanks with rather inexpensive units.
Though we are going to see that Sexton is going to begin to hound that anti-tank position. He needs to move it right now. And this poor Osttroop to the south. Oh my god.
They ordered in a big dose of machine gun fire, and they got it.
2, 4, 5, 6 machine guns and the Assault Pioneers.
Yeah, so we could say that's a lot of DACA.
Well, it was certainly something unpredictable.
Yeah, I feel like for Skadoosh, he really needs more sections, he needs more artillery, because the 716th, you counter it by getting artillery. That's literally all you need to beat it, because everything they have is extremely soft skin. And as you can see, knocking out the Pack 40 yet with that lone section. And I feel like he's going to want to have another section online with a leader unit nearby to really try and, you know, that would be the perfect combination to riddle Ray at Leenday's defenses and get back in this match. But it's been pretty back and forth so far, Colin, I have to admit.
Well, why not just double down and go with more air power?
Because artillery is a constant factor.
That's also true.
Is only like on for a little bit, and also Leenday does have fighters and stuff on the field, and they can also get flak 88, so it's much safer to pound them from afar than trying to drop bombs on top.
That is certainly fair. Bunch of infantry, some more tanks coming in. Well, light tanks coming on in, and it really shocks me to think that those tanks are actually apropos right now.
Yeah, I'm like being brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you never see so many 716th players. They always just, you know, get the B2s and just don't have any tanks, because you can't get anything else apart from these scrappy French tanks. But he's using them kind of effectively. That he's using them as half-track killers. And considering he's fighting a tank that is, like we mentioned right at the start of the match, half-track spammable, yeah, it's a pretty good usage. I still wouldn't take him personally, as I just think it's great of a card. But Leenday's making it work, so I give him credit for that.
Oh, he does seem to be a little bit more, let's say, jealous when he's guarding his anti-tank assets, losing another martyr, and I think pulling one of the last ones he's got right now.
Hey, Carnate, it's getting a bit rainy outside. I think I'm gonna need an umbrella.
Oh, is there more,
Because it's gonna be raining down south, as we've got a Lorraine 150 on the.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even see that. I was looking in the wrong direction. Oh my! I was like, what is he talking about?
But now we got the big old 150. Just lovely unit. It's just 27 HE, 1.6 kilometers. Need I say more?
No, you don't. It's a beautiful, beautiful woman over there. That is. So kind of funny. So 17 pounder gets shelled by the 81mm, who gets shelled by the Sexton, who I'm pretty sure is probably gonna get shelled by the Lorraine.
The circle. Well, Lorraine's a little bit too far away, I think.
Oh, you're probably right. Dang it.
It's big and powerful, but it's not a marathon runner. It's just kind of a sprinter. You know, it can do a 100-meter dash, but when you try to get it run a kilometer or shoot over a kilometer, it gets a little bit difficult.
Fair. That is certainly fair.
Fair.
Okay, so at Leenday, though, he has half the amount of tickets that he had at, well, as Skadoosh has. I was going to say as he had at the start, but that makes 0 sense. More Fireflies being brought on in. Sexton is still here, and we're seeing Shermans. Okay, I've been okay with just a Sherman as opposed to the Fireflies.
Yeah, Shermans are great tanks because they're really good fire support. You got 50 cal machine guns and a 5 HE cannon. But I don't... Especially up north, because there's really not much you have to deal with. Like, once again, it'd be much better to invest those Fireflies into Sextons, and then just use the remaining money you have left saving up getting the Sexton, and just save up for more Shermans.
Very...
And he's getting Achilles too, which they...
Wait, he's getting the Achilles as well?
He's getting an Achilles in the middle.
Jeez. I don't agree with this call.
He's really... What I think's happening for Skadoosh is that he's gearing up to fight like a Panzer division. If he's fighting Trophes S right now, or Panzer, he'd be having a great time. But he's fighting an infantry spam deck, with infantry and anti-tank guns and artillery. In that sort of encounter, you just get medium tanks, decent tanks, just enough for fire support, and you get bejesus out of artillery. But, yeah, he's on some good call-ins. I mean, I like Fireflies and Achilles, but you know, like when you try to use a bike indoors in Pokemon, now's not the time.
You know, I was actually just thinking of Pokemon myself. Oh, great minds, great minds. Lorraine is going to begin to barrage, takes out the 17-pounder with its first shell, and it's just going to continue to pound that area.
Yeah, there's big booms all around.
Oh, we do have to give a little bit of credit, though. Leenday is now up to a +2. He controls that entire northern flank.
Yeah, and that's like a huge swath of land up north, that one Ostroupen moving up. And the British units are essentially all holed up, and that the rain can really just pound away. Now, Firefly will be a little bit difficult to deal with, but it's not going to be a huge threat to the infantry, thankfully.
True. Well, besides the fact that it's fired off only a couple of rounds, though, it still has a good decent amount of HE there.
Yeah, still has a decent amount of HE. That one machine gun, the AG-18, is going to be stunning it up. Almost stunning it up, surprisingly. And I think a Flak 88 would maybe be a good call-in for Leenday, especially up north. Just to try and deal with these tanks and also act as a decent anti-air unit.
I don't think he knows the Freiwillige are there because he's just rushing in with that Sherman.
He sees them, but he's getting way too close. What are you doing, buddy?
Shoot!
Oh!
Oh my god, really?
Ah,
He had it for days. He was there for like days.
yeah. Just a Sherman stunning up with its machine gun arsenal, forcing our Italian troops to go back. And, yeah, they're going to survive, which is going to be good for the Italians.
True, but I guess we are going to have at least a martyr here to take out that Firefly from the north.
Mm-hmm.
Tracks and wheels damage, the engine's been stalled. Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's buggered. And real good Marder play all over, because you got to realize, Marder run 100 points, cheapest chips really, for an anti-tank unit, and he's stunning up these tanks, and then bringing in the anti-tank to like ambush and get the finishing blow, which is exactly how you should be using him. Yeah.
Now, I am surprised that the Brits to the south have not been a little bit more aggressive. Whether to use that sexton, like you said, to either maybe pound that kind of, what's it, farmhouses are right there?
Yeah, like the other side of the forest, essentially.
Well, that too. That too. Yeah. I was thinking with the Italian Freiwillige,
yeah.
Was I going to do Fury, but that sexton seems highly intent just to try to take out one piece at a time, artillery-wise.
And also thinking down south, like, I think the reason he hasn't pushed down south is that he's kind of scared to go past the forest and try to clear the infantry out of the areas.
Well, it's justifiable.
Yeah.
Shrek Squad's coming in, by the way. That's going to be delicious on that southern side. That Humbler is not going to be long for this world.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, definitely. That'd be a good defense down there, that's for sure. We've got a second Sexton up north. And we also got another Achilles for some bloody reason. Just gearing up to fight a dead cat.
There's no words.
There's no. It's just you don't need that type of units. Like you always got to realize, like this is a general tip to everybody, is even though you have like certain divisions that do certain things, you always want to think about what your opponent can get in their division, like what their best units are, and then counter towards that instead of trying to play to your strength. Because in this example here, Skadoosh's strength is tanks. That's his best strength in his deck, and he's playing tanks. But the tanks aren't going to be effective against all this infantry. But because you have the tanks, you think you might as well use them, even if you have slightly worse fire support units and artillery compared to other more dedicated artillery decks. You're going to be having a much better time getting those few Saxons out and 25 pounders and infantry attacks, getting the ringing in Achilles and Fireflies to deal with light armor.
True.
Essentially, what I'm trying to say is don't play to your biggest strengths, but play towards your opponent's biggest weakness. Boom.
There we go.
Nice, easy, easy, consumable. 2 sentences, done.
There we go, guys. So if you ever see a bumper sticker with that on it, remember who said it first.
Yep.
And another stinking Firefly coming on in. This is it's getting silly.
It's getting silly. Like in real life, it'd be like one Firefly to every like 4 to 5 Shermans, but pretty much it's just Fireflies on the front line all over.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is not Owl City right now, so
no.
I do not agree with this decision.
To be fair, he is slowly breaking through up north now, clearing out the the German infantry. And if he could make it past his tree line, I mean, the Lorraine and Mortar are pretty ripe for the taking. But still, it's just not the best use of resources.
And for some reason, there's a Martyr that has not been resupplied at all. There we go. He's finally moving up there now.
Oh yeah, probably got weapon damage.
Something, you're probably right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have I seen more AG-18s? There's AG... Yep, AG-18s.
There's another 2 of them coming on up.
Yep. I really feel like he's getting another mortar run up north as well.
Yes, he is.
This tank assault. Too bad doesn't have a Panther Strike squad nearby, because that'd be lovely.
Oh no, they're down to the south. These guys are looking to take out and push against this little armor, not even armor, this light vehicle logger that's to the west there.
He could definitely knock out the Humbler and the M5. I think the Stuart is just going to be a little bit out of range.
The Remy, right.
Yeah. Both Remys are just slightly out of range, really. Well, the run down south he could knock out, but the run all the way at the far is going to be difficult. And also, once he shoots a Panther Strike, he kind of gives rail position, so I think they're going to get machine gunned down after they get the first shot off.
Well, we do have the Pioneers there as well, so if anything, I'd like to think that they'll send the Pioneers in to play meat shield. No, I'm serious. That's totally what I would do.
That would be a good play.
Why did you shoot at the half track?
Yeah.
There we go. Though he runs out, runs in, runs out, runs in. That's a great call, I would say.
That's good. That's how you should do it. I mean, the nice thing about Panther Strike squads is that they have very good stealth, so they're really hard to spot. So once you get the shot off and fall back, you can pretty much blend into the tree lines again.
Not unexpected when you think about it. It's just 2 Joes with a tube.
Yeah, just two Joes and a tube. Oh, that's I think that's gonna be the next viral video, yeah, Con.
Yeah.
2 Joes and a tube.
Exactly.
Oh, hands, it's so big.
Oh no. No.
I feel like I'm going to wear like a protective mask here.
Okay, so the Martyr, getting this, jeez. Martyrs are dead, Opel Blitz gets captured, and now there's absolutely no anti-tank to the north.
Yep, it's open field day. And the tanks are going to be breaking through and actually making some ground. Good use of the sections now, pounding away at the enclosed German, bunched up German positions, what I'm trying to say. And that's going to be a bit tough, because Leenday is in the lead. Just by a little bit, really. 300 pointers and huge. There's 4 minutes, 5 minutes left in the match.
Mother. Okay, so Panther Strikes came in, took out the Humbler that's right there. Yep. Burst of fire cuts down that crew. Other guys come in, they fire another thing at the Stuart Rem. Another burst of fire. Barely does anything. It's like a 3-second burst. They're both dead. So, no Panther Strikes.
No Panther Strikes. Those Stuart Rems, I mean, 50 cal and a machine gun. Pretty deadly combination. No, really just 50 cal. But it's this northern flank is really not looking good. I mean, he managed to brute force it with all his tanks essentially. And Leenday, he is getting a Pack 38 up north. Oh no, Pack 40, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's gonna need more anti-tank, like Pack 88, another mortal run. Just a little bit tough here.
Well, I will say that the guards are starting to channel their inner Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you see it coming on in, it looks like we're doing a little bit of the Crocodile Rock.
Yep.
But by the same token, Germans are bringing just some random POS. Okay.
Yeah, if they could get a Typhoon rocket plane, there'd be a Rocket Man as well.
That is absolutely true. But once we start to hear Circle of Life, at that point, I'm throwing the towel in at that point.
Yep.
And at long last,
88?
for some, yep.
Yes, I really loved using 88 slot in 716th because you can just spam the hell out of them and they have good veterancy.
Now, I do like finally seeing a Lorraine in the middle part of the map. That might have been a better call altogether.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help out because, in the middle you can shoot more area, essentially. And especially, as you see in the middle, it's just a lot of light armored rifles and half-tracks and even Achilles, which can get stunned up pretty easily by the big bada boom that Lorraine can rain down.
Well, here's just a flavor question for yourself. So when you generally use artillery, do you find yourself deploying it on the wings or in the center?
Oh, it's usually dependent. I usually always view artillery when I buy it is really it's usually best to get it in the center just for all map coverage. But what I end up doing is I see, okay, as a tank on the left flank, I'm just gonna bring my medium range artillery guns on the left flank. And then I clear up the thing on the left flank finally, and I'm like, oh boy, it's done. And then I get attacked in the right, and my, field howitzers now have to somehow get all the way to the right flank to try and stop his force, which never happens, because I can't be bothered to move him.
True. Well, object of rest tend to stay at rest. I completely understand that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's always the benefit of using like sextons and self-propelled guns is they're self-propelled. Having that mobility and being able to reposition is really, really huge.
Well, we are going to see a third sexton coming on in, as well as a couple of Crusader AAs. Yeah. But I kind of feel like, yes.
But yeah, Skadoosh finally embracing, the artillery span that he needs to be doing.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is I feel like he's done all of this way too late. This could have been a victory for him. Black 88, of course, that he has absolutely no, anti-infantry going on here. He just wants to chill.
Yeah.
She's
gonna be, Achilles and Firefly is pretty much just gonna be holding out up north, and there's the Saxons at Flag 88 and Pack 40 not longing for the road. And it's, you just stun up everything with some sections, and the 716th can't do anything about it. They literally can't do anything about these Sextons. They can't get planes to really effectively kill them. They can get LEF-18 howitzers, but you don't get into an artillery piss and roll of Sextons.
True.
You lose every time.
True. Now, that's one thing I do wish, that the Germans had a little bit more mobility in terms of their artillery. I mean, the Lorraine is a nice way to counteracting that, but it is still just so stinking slow.
Yeah, I understand why from like an aesthetic standpoint or like historical standpoint, because by this time I just kind of using any artillery piece that I could find. Look at all the Russian guns that we have, and use like the Resps and the Hummels are only dedicated to Panzer divisions, and in this game, unless you're like 21st Panzer, you don't have that much artillery slots. And also Sextons are just Sextons are just
bananas.
Nah.
They're bananas. You can say it. It's okay.
They're good. It's just the fire rate helps out an absolute ton, and just because they're so hard to counter battery, does make them rather difficult to deal with unless you can break through or just bomb them to bits with some all-neighbor FM.
True.
It's tough to do that because you have to get close.
We only have a couple of seconds left here, so just spell it with me. Bananas. And that's going to be it. That'll be a nice little draw over here coming up for these two different players.
Yeah. Pretty good match on both sides. I mean, look at the KD difference. Only like 200.
Indeed.
Difference, which is... That's close. That's close.
And actually looking at the history itself, it's kind of funny. It seems like when the trading back and forth in terms of value at the very, very least.
Yeah, the Germans lost quite a bit early on, losing their so-called tanks, but it's not till like the start of B phase really is when the Germans get back on track, knocking out the British units, and then from there it's really back and forth
until minute 32.
Yeah. Yep, until 32, and then that's when the northern flank essentially fell, and they managed to mop over everything. But good match on both sides. Once again, Skadoosh could have just played to his opponent's weakness more in his own strength. Would have helped out a lot, and
I feel like Leenday might have been a little bit more aggressive, or dispersing the Italians across his line a little bit more would have been better. But
yeah, he maybe sort of exploited that middle early on a bit better, because that cuts the map in half.
True.
And infantry fight is really the best day for Leenday, especially pioneers and Italian troops in the middle. But he just got bogged down by fire support, enemy fire support.
Yes, that's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
But all right. Folks, it's been a lot of fun being here for a nice long game today. Well, I'm Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Take it easy.